What is going on, YouTube? MACS back with a brand new video for you guys today. And today we're going to get into my full-on review of the Google Pixel 7 Pro, which is Google's latest flagship, of course. And I have it here in this hazel color, the 256 gig model, because, why not? So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's not waste anybody's time. So start off with, obviously it is very, very similar to the Google Pixel 6 Pro from last year, which I did use right before I used this phone. So I went from Pixel to Pixel. So first time ever I do that. But highly recommend that because, I mean, I'll get into it, but this is just fantastic. Anyways, it's very, very similar to it. Sort of similar design. Obviously, the only really huge change as far as the design goes is we do now get that full-on metal camera bar at the back instead of just the full-on glass visor, right? Which I do tend to think is a little bit better, right? Obviously, it's got its pros and cons. Um, on the regular Pixel 7, you do get a obviously aluminum camera bar like this, but it is matte. So this one's a little glossier. Well, obviously a lot glossier. I mean, it does get pretty dirty really quick. So obviously you might want to keep wiping it off with a microfiber cloth or something. But it does tend to scratch a little bit easier, just because it is polished and not matte. You can't really tell in camera, obviously, but it does get a little tiny scratches here and there. Not a huge deal. Nothing crazy has gone on with it, but you do get little micro scratches here and there. Not a huge deal. Obviously, if you want to protect it, go ahead and get a camera lens protector for it. I haven't been able to find a clear version of it. I bought a pack of screen protectors for it, and it came with the camera protectors, but they were black, so it looked really weird. It looked like the Pixel 6 Pro from last year, just because it was a black camera bar. So if you guys have any recommendations as far as like the clear or some sort of clear protection for it, do let me know in the comment section below. So I do kind of want one of those, just because I'm gonna be using this phone for a whole year, more than likely. So I want to keep it as pristine as I can. Obviously, why I got a case here. But anyways, that's besides the point. So obviously, it now does blend into the side aluminum rails of the 7 Pro here. So it is a very clean looking design now, on both sides, obviously. When as before, the glass was just kind of a big piece of glass here in the back. It wasn't really connecting to the sides. But now it just looks like one big metal frame. So I like that. It just looks cleaner, in my opinion. Um, Anyways, as far as design goes, obviously not much different. Just that camera bar, everything else is pretty much the same. It is a little bit shorter than the 6 Pro. I noticed when I did my unboxing compared to 2, it is a little bit shorter. You do get less of a gap up there, when before it was a little bit taller up here. But not a, I mean, obviously you still get 6.7-inch display and whatnot. It's just a little bit smaller. Not a huge difference, but if you hold it to, you'll notice it just a little bit. But um, so a few improvements here. Obviously, you do get better cameras. You get a brighter display. It is the same 6.7-inch 1440p 120 hertz display, which, by the way, it does come at 1080p out the box. So do go into settings and change that if you want. I didn't really care, so I just left it as it is. And I've been getting pretty good battery, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. So the only really big difference as far as the screen goes is that it does go up to 15,000 nits. So what does that mean? If you're out in the sunlight, taking pictures, taking videos, trying to watch something or look at your phone, texting or whatnot, you'll be able to see the screen a lot better in broad daylight, just because of the boost in brightness. So that's great to see. Obviously, there's other phones out there that have a lot more, a higher brightness. Sorry, but 15,000 nits is pretty. I mean, 1,500 nits. Sorry, um, is more than enough for me. I mean, the screen looks super clear out in sunlight, so no complaints for me. But besides that, just you do now get a little bit less of a curve on the display as well. So it is a little more flat, not as flat as the Pixel 7, obviously, which that is just full on flat. But it is less curved, so I think that does make it feel a little better in the hand, just because you do get more of the side rail when you're grabbing the phone. So I like that. And it's just, I mean, curved displays are cool and all, but I don't know. I just prefer flat displays, so just having a little bit more flat is a little less curved is better to me. Not a huge deal. Doesn't really bother me or anything like that, but just something to take note of. It is a little flatter, so that's an improvement in my opinion. It just looks a little nicer. I don't know. Too much curve is a little weird, for in my taste, anyways. Um, so back to the battery life. I have been getting pretty great battery life, consistently getting about 5 hours screen on time. Obviously, if you use your phone a crazy amount during the day, you will drain the battery and you will have to charge before the end of the day. But if you're just a normal user, you're just scrolling Twitter, answering calls, taking pictures here and there, and whatnot. Just normal phone usage, you'll get through the full day easily with at least 30 to 25%, like I have been getting. Um, so battery life is much improved from last year. When last year's 6 Pro was having battery drain issues, just the whole year it was having issues as far as battery goes. But it's good to say that this time around, Google fixed all that, and you're getting pretty good battery life on the 7 Pro. So that's great to see. Now another upgrade from last year is you do get the new Tensor G2 chip, which is Google's second gen in-house made chip for their smartphones, which it does give you a little bit of a good amount of boost actually, as far as machine learning goes. It's 60% faster and 20% more efficient. Now what does that mean? Not a lot if you're just a regular user, right? Obviously you don't really care for that, but it does process things a little faster as far as your pictures go. Night photography, night mode is a lot faster on this device as well. Battery life is also a big thing. You get your new camera features as far as like unblurring goes, and it is improved as far as the magic eraser as well. So just things like just day-to-day things that you won't notice, but it's working in the background, that is improved on the Pixel 7 Pro, and that's good to know. Definitely not a downgrade at all. I mean, with that being said, it is definitely the smartest smartphone out there right now. I think Google really takes emphasis in making the phone experience of the smartphone really, really great. As far as the call screening goes, which we've had on Pixels for the longest time now. I can't recall from the top of my head when that first came about. I think it was probably the Pixel 3 or something like that. But you do get your call screening still. You do now get that new Direct My Call feature, which if you're calling a local business or whatever, or you're calling, I don't know, like Apple or something, or Google, and they have a voice messaging system, an automatic voice messaging system where, it gives you your options for like, press number 1 for this or press number 2 for that. Google already knows that. So once you call, it'll give you the options right away. So you don't have to wait around until the robot finishes talking. So you can just go ahead and skip all that and press the button that you need to press right away. So that's just awesome. You do get your hold for me for whenever you're on hold with somebody. The phone will hold for you. You can use your phone as usual, and it'll ring once it hears somebody else on the other line. So that's also awesome. Just simple quality of life stuff as far as like phone usage goes. It's just great. It's not out yet, but you do get that feature where like you get clear phone calls, both receiving and giving phone calls as far as voice clarity goes. So that's awesome. It's not out yet, but it is coming soon, and looking forward to that. Now, obviously, you do now get your Face Unlock. So finally, you get Face Unlock on the Google Pixel 7 Pro, when last year you just had the fingerprint sensor in the display, which wasn't the best, but it wasn't really the worst either. I mean, I didn't really have a huge issue with it like a lot of people did. But like I said, you do get Face Unlock now. There's one little quirk with it that I did notice where, obviously, I have it set to where, as you can see, that it unlocked by seeing my face, where you can have it set to swipe to unlock, so it doesn't bypass your lock screen. But if you do put it to bypass your lock screen, let me see if I can just show you a quick demo of what I'm talking about here. Just bear with me as I find security here, fingerprint and Face Unlock. So, okay, whenever you go into your Face Unlock, set it up and everything, you can require your eyes to be open. So that's awesome. So nobody can use your phone and put it over your face when you're asleep to use your face to unlock it. So that's great to see. So skip lock screen. So if you have that on, obviously it'll just go straight to your lock screen when you use Face Unlock. So you don't have to look at your lock screen. Now, The one thing is though that let's just say let me play something here as far as music goes. Let me see here. I don't know if this is a bug or not, or if it's just part of the phone, or I don't know, right? It might just be a bug, and I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about it. But let's just say here I'm playing some Billy Currington, right, on YouTube Music. You go back, you lock your phone, cool. You're on your desk, you're doing whatever, you're working or you're typing away on your computer or whatever. You look for you tap to wake to try to change the song, but as you can see there, you don't get a media player device on your lock screen. So that's weird. You can swipe down, and it does give it to you, but on the lock screen it doesn't show up if you have that bypass lock screen feature. Now, obviously, if you go back here and you change it back to not skipping the lock screen. Let's see here. All right. Now it does show up. So now I do have to swipe up to unlock the phone, but I do get media controls on the lock screen. Which I think, I don't know if it's, like I said, I don't know if it's a bug or not. It is a little bit weird that it have to do that to be able to have it, have the media player on the lock screen. Because I do like bypassing the lock screen with the face unlock. It's just so much faster and just smoother and just, it's just nicer. But, so yeah, that's a little bit weird. Other than that though, face unlock's been great. It does struggle when you're in a dark environment, when you're not in like a bright room or out in the sunlight or whatever. If you're in your room and it's a little dark, it might not register your face and unlock. I have noticed that a few times where it didn't register my face, or it didn't recognize my face because it was so dark that I had to use the fingerprint sensor. So that's another thing. It's not the best face unlock out there. It doesn't brighten your screen when you use face unlock like Samsung phones do, where you try to use face unlock, but the screen brightens up, so the screen itself kind of illuminates your face, so the face unlock works. Not in the Pixel, not a huge deal because obviously you do get your fingerprint sensor. It's just a little thing that's a little about it. Now the fingerprint sensor is improved from last year. I have found it to be more accurate and a little bit faster as far as unlocking the device. Last with the 6 Pro, I did notice that it was a little bit slower, that it wasn't as accurate. Like you would sometimes have to do it twice just to get to scan, but now it is quicker, it is more reliable, so that's also a good thing. Now another cool feature that came in last year with the 6 Pro with the Tensor G1, I guess you could call it chip, was the fact that as far as things like in the recorder app where you're trying to dictate text messages, it did record. It used it. I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place right now. It does use a Tensor chip to recognize what you're saying, your punctuation, the way you're saying it. It does recognize emojis as well. You're trying to describe an emoji. But now in the recorder app, I don't know if a lot of people will use this, but if you have it playing or recording, and you're talking to somebody, it automatically recognizes that you're talking to somebody else, so it differentiates the different voices, right? So it could be you and you're talking to, I don't know, a professor at school, or or for whatever, right? Or you're trying to catch somebody saying that they killed somebody or something like that for the police, or whatever, right? It does differentiate who's talker number one and who's talker number two. So that's pretty neat. I mean, that's something that people don't really think about, but once you have it, it's kind of like, oh, that's cool to have. Like, it's interesting that Google thinks about stuff like that, where like not a lot of people think about, or other manufacturers think about. Just like I said, little quality of life things here and there. Now, as far as the camera goes, you do get new cameras, right? You do get the same 50 megapixel main camera, obviously, but you do get a new ultra wide, which is a 48 megapixels, and it goes up to 5x. It is a 5x telephoto lens, and it does go up to, I think, 30x zoom, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check for you guys here on the fly. It does go up to 30x. There you go. That's 30x right there. You can't see anything. There's my case there that I have over there. But yeah, it does go up to 30x. Obviously, you're not going to get the best camera quality at 30x, but it's cool that it's able to do that with the 5x telephoto lens. So that's another thing of Google's magic as far as the camera goes, where like it just works, right? The camera just works. Um, it also does get macro photography now that it uses the ultra wide lens. I haven't really used it much. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that use macro photography, but it is there and it is pretty good from what I've seen. And you do get a new 11 megapixel wide selfie camera, so now it's easier to take selfies with a group of people, and it does look a little bit better. Um, so honestly, I mean, all around, it is a really really great phone. I haven't really experienced any sort of bugs or anything weird, besides the lock screen being a little weird with the media player there. But besides that, everything's been great. Battery life's been fantastic. Cameras have been fantastic. Um, if you're into software and cameras, this is the device to get. I mean, it is just one of the most helpful, one of the smartest, one of the cleanest UIs, best cameras out there as far as photography goes, and even video recording is fantastic on it. I've used 4K 60, 4K 30 on it, and it has been fantastic. I have not missed using an iPhone as far as the cameras go or anything really. I mean, this is just, in my opinion, a better experience for the user, and it's just, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it, you guys. You know, I'm kind of at a loss for words here as far as what more I can tell you guys to basically sell you on the Pixel 7 Pro this year. Pixel 6 Pro was a fantastic device. Don't get me wrong, but it did have its issues as far as bugs go and stuff like that. The Pixel 7 Pro is a very much refined version of the 6 Pro, but it is so awesome. It is just, I don't know. Grab them for yourself. Obviously, the price is a little bit lower than most flagships. It is at $899 right now at launch, but obviously you can get trading credits and stuff like that, or incentives to get it with different carriers. Now, the Pixel 7 though is at $599 right now, which is, I think, that's fantastic for the price. I mean, I can't recommend the 7 Pro enough, but the 7 at $599 is just a steal of a deal, and obviously with trading credits, it is just fantastic. So I don't have the Pixel 7 here to show you guys. Obviously, I did end up going for the 7 Pro just because I just go for like the biggest and best device the company has to offer. That is the 7 Pro for Google right now. But yeah, you guys, I can't say much more. Fantastic phone. Highly recommend it. Phone of the year, in my opinion, hands down. If you guys have any questions as far as anything else that I forgot to mention in this video, I think I covered mostly everything that I wanted to cover. But do let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the Pixel 7 Pro or the Pixel 7 or anything you guys want to talk about Pixel related. I will be making a video on the Pixel Buds Pro that I am looking at here next to my camera. So stay tuned for that coming up soon. Full on review on those. Fantastic pair of earbuds, by the way, but we'll get into that in the next video. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button below. If you haven't yet, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.